Good morning, everybody. Welcome to the GSM's Pride. It is that time again. It's the beginning of the month, the day I hate the most. We got plenty to do today. Get the month closed, get the month started. Just like my one of my first videos. It's going to be a long week. Got a lot to get going. Need to get the month started. February as a whole wasn't terrible, but it wasn't a great month either. Obviously we lost 6 days there with the bad weather, but yeah, we ended up closing out pretty strong, which was good, but other than that it was not a super successful month. So just kind of want to get February closed as fast as possible and move on to March. Now the good thing is March tends to be the time when business starts picking up anyway. Weather starts picking up, and then obviously people are starting to spend money. Tax time's upon us, so that'll be another injection of business for sure. Tend to usually get more salespeople in March. March tends to be the month that salespeople as a whole kind of do a little bit of reshuffling from dealership to dealership. Sometimes you can pick up a couple of diamonds in the rough there and try and get things going. So today, like I said, got to get a head start on closing the month and then trying to open the month as fast as possible. I am going to have a meeting with the guys this morning. Just got a couple of things that happened over the weekend that need to be addressed. So we need to get a vote going and make sure we're all on the same page there. Tomorrow I've got a GM meeting, first week of the month. We always have one. I got to try and figure out today how I'm going to get my dog to the vet in the morning and get to the meeting on time. So hopefully they'll open up early and let the dog come in. But other than that, that's really all I got right now. Got to try and find someone for the employee spotlight this week. I don't have a volunteer for that yet, but to be honest, I haven't even asked. The end of the month kind of took away from a lot of things, especially trying to close out strong. Feeling a little sore this morning. Played hockey on Saturday night, got a few bumps and bruises from there. I'm not really a skater, and I've never played hockey before, so that was kind of fun. Maybe I'll give you a little bit of a snippet of my antics. Wasn't the greatest, to be honest, but you know, all fun. And then in the morning I played soccer and I rolled my ankle, which wasn't the best, so I had to strap it up and go out there. It feels a little bit better this morning, so we should be good. And I think I got maybe a little whiplash. My neck's hurting. You know, you're probably looking at me going, "You play sports, especially with this thing?" But yeah, I do. I try and play as much as I can and work out as much as my problem is my diet, as always. Your diet is 80% supposedly. Well, clearly 80% of my body is my diet. But either way, heading in, trying to get some stuff today. I got birthdays to get out, schedules to get out. Oh, it's going to be a long one today, so we will all see you in a bit. Just wanted to let you know that I'm heading in for my general manager's meeting, first week of the month. We do this every single month. Realistically, I just wanted to show you the incredible facility that we have, and we're lucky enough to have the Fused Automotive Network. Used to be the old Rams Park facility. It's pretty badass, as you can see, and I'll let you know how it went when I come out. Just wanted to give you a quick update on the GM meeting. A couple of things came out of it, really good news. I can't really say much, but I'll elaborate later. But a couple of things: we shifted the used car transfer meeting to tomorrow. I think we're going to start doing it on Wednesday's period now, because it just makes it easier for the guy who transfers all the vehicles to get it done before Friday for the weekend. So we switched that up. Went around the boards, you know, spoke to service director, parts director, ownership, accounting, HR. Everything seems to be in pretty good shape. So it really was a pretty quick meeting, but I will get you guys up to speed tomorrow when I get going with the exchange meeting. Got a lot to do tomorrow. Need to really get caught up. Been in a lot of meetings at the beginning of the month, which is always tough, but we'll get caught up. I've got wholesale with Ford today. I think we only got like 11 cars on the wholesale, so that's not great, but given the circumstances with this microchip issue, new cars are going to be a little down. So and then also I think I got my GM review next week, I think, or maybe the week after, but either way that'll be pretty intense, I'm sure, but we will speak to you all in a bit. Over here at Chrysler, coming in to do the pre-owned. What's going on, Brad? Pre-owned transfer. Here's the huge building, Taj Mahal. So I'll let you know how it goes. Okay, everyone, just wanted to give you an update on how that meeting went. Went pretty good. We got the cars except one that I wanted, and also gave up a couple of Toyotas that were kind of a little slow, so we got those. And I also got a brand new, well, I say brand new, so ex-loaner Alfa Stelvio, which I'm kind of excited about. They're kind of a badass looking car, so looking forward to getting over there. So heading back to the store, see what's going on over there, get some more things done, and it was a successful morning. Got the meeting knocked out in 30 minutes, so that was good, and I will see you in a bit. Hello everyone, welcome to the GSM's Pride. It's this week's edition of the Employee Spotlight. This week I have John Stahl with me. John Stahl is a veteran of the trade for sure, so this one might go on a little. He's been around for a little while. So John, let's talk about first high school, college. Let's start there. Let's start way back, because I know you have a little bit of history in those areas that people might want to.
Grew up in North County, Bellefonte Neighbors. St. Jerome grade school. From there I went to Rosary High School.
Which was a big soccer school, right?
It was a big soccer school. The word North County was a big soccer world. Then I went on to Lewis and Clark Community College, where I went for 2 years and played a little soccer there. And then I played 2 more years, a little bit at the University of Missouri St. Louis.
And you went pretty far in the soccer world, correct?
Well, I was fortunate enough. I was a 3-time NCAA All-American. From there, I was drafted by the original St. Louis Steamers. Unfortunately, they thought I was too much better than Slobo, so they traded me to Toledo, Ohio. So
and how long was you in Ohio for?
I was there for 1 season, and we were so successful we went bankrupt.
Which position did you play, John?
I was a goalkeeper.
So there's a little funny story. I after a lot of research and looking, I found an old newspaper clipping of John that was when he was All-American, correct? Mm-hmm. That picture. So yeah, that was kind of fun. It was you could tell it was him for sure. The paper was in black and white, obviously.
Guess what? Most sports pages are still in black.
I think newspapers are generally black and white. So after college, what was the next step?
Well, after I played in Toledo, the team went bankrupt, as I said. So I moved back to God's country, St. Louis, and Milwaukee Wave bought my contract, and I was negotiating playing again, but I was bored just sitting around for the summertime.
Yeah.
So I saw an ad in the paper for a Lincoln Mercury dealership. So I said, why don't I give that a try? So I did, and started negotiating with the Milwaukee Wave, and what ended up happening is I started to get successful selling cars, and I was making more money than I was playing soccer. And I had a kid then, and I didn't feel like uprooting my family again. So I said that I'd stay in the car business till I used my degree and found a real job.
What was your degree in?
Marketing.
Okay.
And now, 36 years later, I'm still looking for that real job.
So you touched on your children. How many children do you have, John?
I've got 3 daughters.
Okay.
I've got 2 grandkids.
Well, your daughters, it's not you that has twins, right?
No.
That's Jerry, isn't it?
Yes.
Jerry's daughters are twins. So you got 3 daughters. What are their ages now?
Oh my God. Well, one is 33, minus 3. One is 35, minus 3, 32, minus 3, 29.
That's a math test for you.
They're all 3 years apart. So all I got to do is remember one and need to add and subtract from there.
And you say they 2 of them have children or just one?
My middle daughter has 2 kids. She has a girl that's 7 and a son, Jackson, who is, Olivia is the girl's name, by the way, and Jackson, who is 3.
Any of those going to be a future soccer star?
Well, I saw Olivia play last year, and unfortunately, Jackson will be.
Yeah. Okay, so let's move on to how you mentioned you got in the car business through just looking in the newspaper. Talk about was it Lincoln Mercury you said the first time?
Lincoln Mercury.
Let's talk about when that was and what you did there. Just selling, I assume?
I believe it was in 1987. I started at a place called Leader Lincoln Mercury it was on Manchester.
Okay.
Yeah, no, Lindbergh, right down the street from who's the Dave Sinclair.
Yeah.
And got an opportunity with a company called Stivers to go work for them. So I worked there, and in 1989 they transferred. They asked me to move to South Carolina, and we opened a store down there. And
what brand was that?
that was Lincoln Mercury. And so I went down there as the new car manager, and was down there till 2010 we sold it. And I decided to move back to God's country for a second time. And
so you were
for
there from
Ford
'89
dealership.
to 2010?
I was on there for 21 years.
Yeah, it's a long time.
And when we were shoveling and doing stuff in the snow the other day, I was asking myself, why did I move from South Carolina when I looked at the forecast there and it was 72?
We could also have hurricanes there, so, you know.
Yeah.
So then you moved back to St. Louis.
Mm-hmm.
Then did you come straight to Fuse from St. Louis?
I did. Well, I did because my sister, Gary Romeo, was a general manager at the time. And my sister works with Gary's wife. And she said, go see Gary at Lou Fuse.
And you've been here ever since?
I've been here ever since.
So the store had been open 10 years by then, this building here specifically?
That I can never, not confirm nor deny because I don't know when this opened up here.
Because I think 2000 was when this building opened up.
Well, I know what the building was when I started and what the building is now are 2 totally different things.
Yeah. When you first got here, what was it like around this area? Was it pretty starting to build up, or was it not quite built up yet? Because I know
the area surrounding us.
Yeah.
Well, when I left here in 1989, obviously there was nothing here. There was a restaurant, which was Annie Gunn's. There was a gas station and the airport. So, and a prison. So, when I first moved back here, before I started working here, because the first couple days back, my brother and I took a ride into the valley. The first thing I noticed, and I asked my brother, is where the heck is the prison? Because they had done away with Gumbo.
Yeah.
Because of the flood.
Yeah.
And then when we drove into the valley, I couldn't believe it. Especially after seeing down in South Carolina the news of the '93 flood.
Yeah.
And see how devastated this area was, that somebody was crazy enough to build stuff in that area.
Well, they built a pretty big levee. There's probably no.
Well, that's what I've heard.
So, so you came back. You just sold the whole time.
Just sold.
Okay, good. How'd you feel? I know it's probably a stupid question. You're a little far into it now, but how'd you feel generally about the car business?
Well, it's all I know, and I truly enjoy it. I work with a lot of great people, and I have a lot of great customers. I build new relationships and friendships every single day, and I reinforce the relationships that I've already built.
So bringing that up, tell people at home why you would get in the car business, because there's a stigma in this industry to not get in it. But for somebody who, I don't want to say got in it by accident, but got in it by accident and then has flourished their career with it.
Well, yeah, I got into it by accident, but I stayed on purpose. I've had many opportunities to go elsewhere and do other things. If you can get by the hours that it brings and the sacrifice that it brings, you know, family, kids, but if you look outside the box, it's not just this industry that has that stigma. No. I've got friends that are lawyers, doctors. I've even got one that's an Indian chief, and he's on 24/7. So, I mean, it is what it is. But if you're honest, because the truth is easier to remember, my sainted mother told me that, and you treat the customer the way they want to be treated, not the way you want to be treated, you'll end up making friends and making money.
Let's shift gears a little bit. What about Lou Fuse as a whole? You've worked for 2 different dealership groups. What is it that you like or dislike about Lou Fuse?
Well, the first organization I was with was Stivers, and they're a lot like Fuse. They're 3rd generation. In fact, the ones that are running that store I trained. Coming here, I was told good things about it, but I had no idea. Off the record, Eddie, I hope you don't see this, they seem to do just a tad bit more for their employees here. Turkeys for Christmas, gifts, or Thanksgiving. We all got gifts this Christmas. You get every year on your anniversary, you get don't break my heart and tell me it's not personally signed by the person that owns it, but I think it is.
Yeah, Randy signs it.
Because my name is written.
Yep.
Those little things really go a long way. And to truly have a management staff that I feel like cares really goes a long way.
Yeah, I'll just touch on that real quick. Legitimately, Randy and his brothers physically write those anniversary letters, because mine have been personalized at times. So I know for a fact they do that. So they sit there and physically write those out. So that's a huge thing. I can't imagine many organizations doing that specifically.
You know, especially not one with 13 stores.
Yeah. 13 brands. Yeah, for sure. Cool. What about Lou Fuse Ford? Is there anything about Lou Fuse that you like or dislike?
Well, number one, I like the big blue oval. You know, I'm a Ford guy through and through. There really isn't one thing that I dislike. And I would say if I did, I would come to you, I would come to Steve and say, I don't like this. Of course, we get our brow beaten every once in a while, but where aren't you going to?
Yep.
You know, I just, when I don't have a feeling like I'm kicking myself in the tail to walk into work, I don't have a problem with it. I like it.
Cool. That's really, I think, all the questions I've got. Is there anything that you want to tell the people at home?
If you need a good deal, don't worry about any of the other salespeople here. You just come see John Stahl. Just kidding. Just come on in. We'd be happy to help you.
Is that it?
You tell me.
Okay, John, I appreciate your time. As always, over at Lou Fuse Ford, we can replace the car but not the customer, and I'll see you next week.
Oh my God, look, it's the new Ford Bronco. Big bend, wheels, it's gray. More wheels. Sport. Ooh, it's kind of bright out here today. Really wish I had a hat. I have a hat.
You know what? I think it's time to give away a hat. I need your help though. I need to get to 100 subscribers on YouTube, and I need as many likes on Facebook as I can possibly get, especially followers. please, I'm gonna give away a hat for once I hit 100 subscribers on YouTube. So here's what I need you to do. I need you to go onto YouTube. I need you to subscribe to the page, the GSM's Pride. Once you've done that, comment in the video below stating that you subscribed. At the end of the month, once I've hit 100 subscribers, I'm going to go through, I'm going to randomly pick a winner. I'll reach out to you via email, and I'll send you your nice new GSM's Pride hat. So please, I need your help. Subscribe. Once we hit 100, I'll choose a winner. Thanks as always. We can replace the car, but not the customer. Please send your help. I need you. Okay, Zach and I are on the way to HQ. I hope I'm in that shot. On the way to HQ. We got a little bit of a surprise for the employees today, so you'll see shortly. So here's the surprise. Believe it or not, it is the kind of thing that our network does all the time. It is Employee Appreciation Day. So the ownership for every single person, that's over 900 employees,
back and fixed?
pretzels.
Unbelievable.
Today, singly wrapped for COVID.
Yeah, Tuesday.
That's 65 from my store. So Zach and I are going to pick those up and we're going to take them back to the store and give them out.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Good.
Oh, thank you.
Mustard if you want it.
Oh, yeah. That is something. Well, what's the other stuff? 2 kinds?
There's Dijon and regular. I would suggest Dijon too.
I'll go both.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
Much
We
appreciated.
got enough. We got enough. You can take it.
Happy Employee Appreciation Day. Have a pretzel.
Thank you.
There's mustard there if you want it, yellow and Dijon.
Ooh, mustard? Yum. Oh, is that horseradish? Oh.
No, it's Dijon mustard.
Thanks. Hi. Thank you.
Thank you.
Duff, what did you buy today?
I bought a 2021 Mach 1 Mustang.
Right on. And why did you buy that car today? Why did you buy this specific car?
One, we really liked the way it looked. 2, my girlfriend liked it, so that's the most important thing. And 3, it's a day late birthday present for her. So.
Oh, okay. Now, is it your birthday or her birthday?
Her birthday.
Oh, well, that is one lucky lady to get a Mustang for her birthday. Now, let's be real, Duff. Is this actually for her, or is this for you once, you're buying it for her, but,
Well, it's for her. I just got to make sure I drive to make sure it runs correct.
Yeah.
Safety precautions. Keep safety precautions here.
Absolutely. We are happy that you were looking out for her safety like that. Now, why did you buy this car specifically from Grant at Lou Fuse?
The reason we bought here is 1, it was great customer service. When we walked in the door, Grant met us, greeted us, and answered all our questions. 2, we had called around to actually 2 or 3 different dealerships, and they were asking astronomical prices over what the MSRP was. And this is the first place that we called that actually gave us the actual price of the car.
Right on. And I'm not going to ask you what you paid for the car, but did you end up paying over MSRP for this car?
We did not.
All right. Well, see, that's a wonderful thing. If you're paying less than sticker prices, or at least that sticker price, is a wonderful thing. Cool. So, how would you describe Grant in 3 words?
Energetic, knowledgeable, and very, very friendly.
Now, how would you describe Grant in 3 words? All right. So, why would you tell somebody to come buy a vehicle at Lou Fuse Ford?
I would tell people to buy here, 1, because the customer service is great. 2, the salesperson I had was very knowledgeable. And 3, it was a very easy process. I don't even think we've been here an hour yet, and everything is already just about done.
Beautiful. I love it. Cool.
So let's touch on something that's a little newer, because newer cars tend to be a little bit more difficult, especially when they're so new that you can buy a brand new one for similar. You got to take that into consideration when it's new. Hypothetically, what's the average loss on a vehicle when they drive off the lot? Yeah. So given that, when you take that into consideration, you've got to look at, especially if it's a Ford, look at the invoice minus any rebates around, and you better be cheaper than that. So this car here, one thing I wanted to touch on, because this is a retail piece, it was clean out of the box, you know you're going to sell it. How I've always done this is some, and let me tell you, I pulled in that, what do you think our average shop cost is? Average shop bill?
Used cars?
Yeah.
Are you answering that too? I'm sorry, I didn't hear you, dude. 1700.
No, not even close.
I didn't hear you.
What do you think our average shop bill is as a whole? Yes, there's going to be some at 3,000, there's going to be some at 2. What do you think our average shop bill is?
Probably on the higher side. I'd say 2,500.
Nope.
No.
Steve, any clue?
What's that?
Average shop bill in the store?
For us?
Yeah.
For used cars.
1750.
663. I pulled the report to check it. 600. We actually used to be about 759, but we've gone down.
So that's just our shop. That's not including if it was a body shop or.
Correct. That's just our shop bill, not counting. So when you said yes, oh, it's easy 1,000. That ain't gonna be 1,000. 275 for a detail, and the shop bill is gonna be maybe $200-300 at the most. Yeah, because you're not gonna need anything. Now, if it's a certified car, that's a little different because we get charged an hour and a half minimum, and the inspection, and we get charged for that. But that's per Ford's guidelines. On something like this, we're just going to run through do a stain emissions and make sure it's okay.
Are we gonna gold that?
Oh, we can't gold it. It's Lincoln. We can't certify a Lincoln car. No, we're not allowed to. No.
We can blue certify any other manufacturer.
We can blue certify, but I'm not going to because I'm going to fuse certify because it's the same. So let's talk about this real quick. So this is, you hit it originally at 49 grand, right?
No, I hit it at
50.
51. No, I hit it at 51. I was holding. I was showing him.
Yeah. He was a 51 on the first and you threw it after grand.
Okay, so let me ask you a question. Where did 51 come from?
I got on Car Gurus, I got on Auto Trader, and I got on Dave Sinclair.
And what was the average retail price?
For a brand new one, they were selling for 57 to 61 brand new.
Okay, how much was the used ones going for?
No, the used ones were 53.9 to 56.9.
Okay, so kind of all over the place.
Yeah.
Okay.
I don't know the exact mileage and stuff like that.
But given that said, there's 52 out there in the market, so they're pretty readily available. We're not talking a rare car here by any stretch of imagination. And that's only at 300 miles. Okay? And also, average MMR, and it's 53.8. Retail's 57.9. Average, now I know we're a little higher on the miles, but not that many, right? And they already deducted for the miles anyway. But we're going to retail this, right?
Correct.
Okay. This is, you booked it out, 53,375, 59,575 retail. Talk me through why you think this car isn't worth 53 grand.
Just looking at what is selling and what is sitting out there, with that car, I only have a sticker of $61,000. It doesn't have a moonroof. So it's a base reserve at that. It's still a reserve, but to me it's a base reserve. And judging by the adjusted market price with the retail conditioning cost of just under 90%.
Okay, but the question is, at 52, knowing you're not going to spend anything in it, we put 500 in and making $1,000 on it, and that's really blowing out. Your market price at 91%. You understand that's the end result, right?
Yeah.
Go on, Steve.
I know why.
Why?
It's Lincoln.
Correct. I don't dispute.
Lincoln's don't sell.
I don't dispute that. But we're going to touch on to pricing cars in a minute. What do we price every car out of the gate at? 100%. That's 9% markup there. How much profit do you think they've got in this car right now at retail?
7, 8 grand.
Yeah.
Thank you, sir.
You don't want to make 7 or 8 grand?
I know I do, but what I'm saying is I'm not saying we did lose a deal, but we could easily lose a deal by being 2 grand less than we wanted to be on this car. As a used car manager, in theory, do I want to steal every car? Yeah, But as a general manager and a sales manager, we need to put I don't care about the new car, just put the right number in this. Whether that's higher or lower, it doesn't make a difference, just put the right number in it. Because then we can make it on the new and the used car side. This here is, the reason I put 1,000 in there is because all I'm saying is, if I had to blow it out, that's where I'd be.
Yeah, I remember you used to.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. We're making, but the difference is, all this is saying is, and that thing ain't gone, I can still make $1,000 on it at 91% and it's gone, it's disappeared. And that's how you need to price these cars, is what's the worst case scenario. And remember when I said in the beginning, your exit strategy, okay, we might make $7,000 on it, but worst case scenario, we're gonna make $1,000 and get rid of it at 91%. And this here is our targets. That's what we wanna be, where we wanna be at for what we've set in the auto. So what that does is, it takes into account turn on the vehicle. This one's a little high, it's 83. Market day supply, like mine day supply. But we've set it so 85 to 97% we should be able to sell that car. You're at 91. I'm blowing it out.
I'm gonna have it at 89.
Well, you're at 91 at 52, so you'd have been probably 85. Yeah.
51, I was at 89, and the market supply was down at like 80.
One thing I don't want you to be afraid of is getting up into the 90s, but knowing that car's going to need to be a fast turner at that point. If this is high and this is high, that's a problem. If this is low and this is low, then you're in a really good place.
If you're at 91, but you're not sure that what's going to cost to shop, it's a iffy car going to shop, that's when you get fucking hurt. Because now you're already at the top of the line, and then if that $1,000 recon goes to 2,500, everything just starts going.
They're the hardest cars to appraise, is the marginal ones that you don't know what it's going to need.
We need to do John's deal.
We will need to.
We're going to do it and getting the price of whatever the other half hour.
Okay. So what do you want to talk about first? Okay. Yeah.
Start with the price.
Okay. So let's talk about the first things first. Let's pull this RX 350 up because Grant wants it now. Well, maybe not because there's no miles in there.
Is there any pictures you can show me?
No, it's silencing. Let's just look at it real quick. So the best way to really teach appraising cars is this simple. It's all exit strategy. The numbers really mean nothing. It's really, the only time the numbers really come into play as a whole is when you're concerned about LTV and if a bank's going to buy that car later on down the road. So realistically, the only thing that really should matter to you is when you're appraising the car is, how am I going to sell this? It's not really about how much money you're going to make on the car, it's how we're going to sell it. It is the biggest concern. And Corey, I know you've not been here long enough to see me do this before, but like I told you guys before, if you're retailing it, this is really all that matters. Other than you need to look at the book to make sure you're not going to be 170% of LTV. So there's a couple of ways you can change this. Let's just put this in as an LS. So a couple of things as you go down. One thing I've noticed with you especially, Brian, you don't ever book this car out. So on this screen here, if you don't fill this out, those squares won't be right.
Okay, and that's
This is what makes that, that's what makes that market value there. If this isn't booked out right, the numbers will be way off, okay? So like, there was a couple in there that I did. You gotta check this LS if it's an LS. And make sure that matches, because if you don't, your number's gonna be way off. Also, you need to make sure these vehicles here are at least 20. Because if you don't, again, you gotta be careful, because like if you go into the transactions, let me just make this order. If you go auto, it tries to get there, but sometimes You have to do it all. So this is currently, when it says, I always put it on, I'm going to tell you something. Well, I always put it on active because that's currently what is going through the market, those auctions right now, or what has gone through. Now, admittedly, there's only been 9 that have gone through, so it's not like there's that many to really go off. But that's only auction, yeah, that's MMR only. So when you go here,
Does it matter you don't have training in there?
the only problem is sometimes, no, it does, but sometimes it'll kick the rest of the stuff out. So you have to, this is more important than the automatic transmission. Yeah, so. And obviously this car isn't going to need certification because that'll throw the number off too. This isn't really a great example, but given this circumstance.
It changed your distance.
Oh, it did, yeah.
Well, let's say we're appraising for wholesale, so it's going to be a wholesale.
Correct. So this is a good example actually for when these are, so what we're talking about is when you first walk around a car, you need to go, okay, am I going to retail this thing? If I'm not, then really the rest is irrelevant. And not to throw it under the bus, but that was one thing that Nick used to do on a regular basis. We had a 200,000 mile car, he'd go drive it for 5 minutes. Why? As long as it starts and moves, that's really all that matters at that point. You're not going to sell it anyway. Who cares? So realistically, this is all that really matters. But again, you've got to be a little careful with this because if you click on this transactions here, look, there's only a couple of them been through the auction. Everywhere, that's all, not just the Midwest. And the odometers are all over, so you've got to be a little careful of where they are. And that's where you're coming up, Corey, you're going, oh well, it's got 150,000 miles and there's a big difference between below and above. That's because the miles are so far different. That's where the numbers are going to become confusing at that point. So for you specifically, I wanted to touch on something, and this is a good example for a truck. This is going to come with time of whether you think that's going to do well at the auction or not. The numbers are a good guide, but you know, I'll be honest, when I first came here, remember the Expedition with the 7.3, right? What's the good engine? Yeah. 7.3. Yeah, the 7.3. So we had this excursion that came in, and I bid it at like $3,000, and these guys going, what are you doing? And I was like, it's like a 2010 with 200,000 miles on it. But I didn't know this engine was like gold dust. You couldn't get the thing and everyone wanted the engine bad. And then when I put that back in, it was like 13,000. It was like a $10,000 swing. So there becomes a time when you have to know what works and what doesn't work. For instance, I don't know why, but Lincolns don't work here. I don't know why. We can't sell them. We can't make any money on them. They've always been that way. It makes no sense because we're a Ford store, but even so, for some reason we can't sell them. But that's going to come with time where you know Infinities don't work here. We can't sell them for nothing. Every time we have them, they sit on the lot and we make no money on them. So you kind of need to know outside of this what works on the lot. And like some of those, even 150, 170,000 mile truck, if they're in that 10 to 15 range, they're literally gold dust for us because people want an under $20,000 truck. You can't get them anywhere. Where are you going to get a $20,000 truck from? Because even a 17 XLT F-150, it's 30 grand. You know what I mean? So that's why you got to remember those vehicles are going to be better than others. So this car there, yes, okay, it's got a bad Carfax, but really who cares at this point because all we're going to do is send it to the auction. So when you put your number in there, this really is irrelevant. Because if you were trying to retail it, this would be a way too low of a number. Because you're at 62% of the market, $1,000, that realistically, you could probably put $2 or $3 in that and still be okay, but you're not going to retail it. And something I've learned, and it's always baffled me, if I go to the auction, I pay up for it. I said my cars to the auction, we always make not enough. I don't know how that works. Why is it that I have to pay up, but everyone else has to? And it doesn't matter what dealership I'm at, it's just weird that way. So you've got to put your cars in right because you just won't sell them. And if you do, and we've all made mistakes, shit, I've made them. So that car there, I'd really just put average MMR in it. Maybe a little less because of the miles.
Well, and that's what I'm saying. So in my mind, when I see a 256,000 mile unit, average wholesale with average of down to 112, I would cut that in half and I would put that at 750 me personally.
I appreciate what you're saying there, but you've not got many transactions is the problem. Because that's just an average odometer. If you go to the transactions, you know, you've got a 74,000, which is gonna, there's a $3,000 car. There's actually, this is the only one that's closer. So you see that would be worth $1,000 because you've got 113 and it's still pulled $1,800. Whereas I know that says $1,300, but there isn't one there that's that low. You see what I'm saying? So yes, in theory when you look at it, but look at this one, this is 138 and it pulled 2,200. Yeah, so that's what I'm saying. That's good to go off because it's an average, but it doesn't tell you the whole story. Now if there was 30 of them in there, then you're probably going to be closer. But this is a car that's only, what, six cars to go off. And not to mention, look when they were, all the way back to 10 to February. So that's a 6-month spread right there. So you got to take that into consideration when you're appraising the car.
John this week decided to give me the topic very generic and broad on Mustang. Not quite sure what I was supposed to break down, as if I just wanted to sit here and talk to you guys about the Mustang, so I figured let's do a Lauren and get a free trial and never pay for it.
Season, that's why it's
okay. Don't look.
Oh, I saw it.
Oh.
Come on, come prepared.
I think you're presenting.
Yeah.
But how do we log in and play?
Kahoot.it.
Yeah.
Shit, what do you...
Yeah.
Get ready to join.
My phone's
waiting for players.
My phone's rotary.
I believe that.
Play.
Then you put that code in.
233.
Is it just a website?
Yeah.
Kahoot.it.
Rotary phones in.
Who's?
Oh, shit.
Are you all?
I meant to put hello.
You can go back.
You put rotary phone?
Wait, how?
You should be able to just.
John's
I
band.
can't.
Who's PD? Looks like a sideways
What's that
face.
stand for?
Could be a couple things.
Brain damage.
It will look Rotary phone.
Steve.
Is that everybody?
I'm not in there. I'm playing Kahoot.
No. You better participate.
Wait,
I was not in
Are you joking?
I'm gonna help you, Jan. You can't do anything on this own. 6 readers.
1, 2, 3.
Virgin, and that's gonna make you make a name.
I should have done this for the light.
I think. Is everyone in?
Not yet.
John, you in?
Who's GSM Pro?
That's definitely not me.
So there's 10. Who's not in? Brian, you in?
No, I'm not. I'm just helping you.
Okay, so we should all be in then.
Alright, Alonso, get back on.
Supervising. Translating.
You ready? If you ain't first, you're last.
What was the earliest Ford Mustang model?
Come on. Where's my phone?
If you watched Ford versus Ferrari, you'd know.
So color coordinated?
Yeah.
I don't know.
They're not all hard, I promise.
I'm in 10th place. We're gonna give that something.
So you're picking the color. Come on.
Yes, try.
Back to back. Rotary phones first.
Who is rotary phone?
Steve.
Yeah, me.
Oh, it's you.
Alright, true or false? You get heated and cooled seats with Recaro seats.
Well, what the hell?
You see, I already got that wrong. He did. Someone did. I did not. Who got that wrong?
I want to see. Will it tell me? Oh no. All right. In 2021, what will no longer be available in the Mustang lineup?
Is this, you get more points the faster you answer?
Yeah.
Oh, why'd you tell me that?
Mach 8 is no longer around?
Yeah.
Who in the world put GT5?
Y'all, sorry. What the heck, y'all?
Who picked it? Raise your hand right now. John won.
We got it right.
Show me your phone.
Let's go.
trying to be first. First on
Hey,
that
first, you get the answer. You get it right though.
If you're not first, you'll.
Rotary phones on a streak. True or false? You can get a convertible GT500, GT, and EcoBoost.
I bet Bijan says true.
Who the?
Stop true.
Nah, man, nah, I'm chilling.
It was Brandon.
I just clicked on
It was definitely Brandon.
What you hurt.
Sorry about that.
That was an
I keep
accident.
looking to see like what square or because I'm going it's not like
But me and
Will it show later?
All right, y'all. In what year did Ford bring back the 5.0?
This is gonna separate us all now.
Yeah, that's tough.
no, no.
That might have been me fucking up right there.
Oh, I got one right finally.
It's either that, we're close.
So I was going to do something in case.
Okay, this transmission comes with the 2021 GT500.
Wait, no!
Come on, this is easy.
What is it?
Oh, shit.
Sees more
John's gonna be rowing for days.
10 speed. Yeah, well, it's gonna be fast.
Daniel's in the lead.
This color is not available for the 21 Mustang lineup.
Oh. Oh no, I picked the wrong one.
Why is Velocity blue and red?
Because they're doing a mining right
Yeah.
now.
Well,
Corey's going to crumble under the pressure.
how much horsepower does the 21 Mach 1 have?
I know.
This motherfucker knows it.
Jesus Christ, how many times do I have to push it?
Push it. Yeah, what the heck, Dan? Oh my goodness.
27 points behind Bijan's
I'm
then.
just not used to such low numbers for horsepower. I didn't know what any of those.
Yeah.
You're driving a Civic.
That doesn't even have two.
And a Fiat.
All Mustangs, done.
Not according to Justin.
I thought about this.
Do they run on premium or regular?
Yeah.
I almost put a gas question in there.
That's what the R stands for.
What? Oh my god! Three people?
That's not right.
I'm in 7.
It was false.
Hey, we're all
false.
winners.
You get the Mach E comes in all-wheel drive.
It says
Excluding the Mach-E.
You need to read.
Do you want to come up here and teach the class, John?
Please get it on this.
Come on.
My translator.
All right, true or false for double points.
Ooh, last one we got.
Sync 4 is available for the 2021 Mustang, not including the Mach-E.
Oh, what a...
Bitch.
7.
Wow, the first time everyone got all the questions right.
Proud of you.
Okay, one. And the winner is...
Persian.
Third place, Steve.
That's.
Second place, Bijan down. Nathaniel came first.
Da, 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 da.
Okay.
If you ain't first.
Congratulations, Nathaniel.
I'll sing a wrong question.
I don't usually record on a Sunday, but given the circumstance, I think I'm going to. So on Friday, I got an email from on my HR department stating that Columbia, Missouri had some vaccinations for the COVID-19 virus available, so I jumped on to see if I could get one, and I was lucky enough to enroll for today. 6:30 p.m. It's about an hour and 40-minute drive to Columbia, so I'm heading there now to go and get a vaccination. I'm going to try my best to see if they'll let me shoot in there. I would probably guess they won't, but either way, I'll give you an update of how that goes. Not really relevant to the car industry per se, except that obviously the COVID-19 virus affected business, obviously, in a good way, but still, it was a lot of changes we had to do. So I thought I'd just document this and just give you an update of how that went. This isn't a, me saying make sure you go get the vaccination. It's really up to you. I think it's wise for me to get one, given my position and the amount of customers I see and stuff like that. So I'm going to go get one and try and get the store back to 100% as quick as possible. So I'll give you an update when I get out. I'll see you in a bit. Okay, it's a little dark in here. I didn't think I was going to be leaving this late, but that was extremely organized. They wouldn't let me film inside, obviously, but it was extremely organized. I literally got in and out in a few minutes. They make you wait 15 minutes excuse me, make you wait 15 minutes after, just to make sure you feel fine and you're okay. I feel okay. I feel kind of a little bit weird. My left arm's a little numb, but other than that, I feel okay. Obviously, there's going to be possibly some side effects to this, so we'll see what happens there. But all in all, I think that was probably the most organized it could have possibly been. I was surprised that it was as organized as it was. But I've got to come back on the 28th, which is I think 3 weeks from now. Same time, same place, to get the second round. But either way, the first one's done now, and we'll see how this goes. So if you're gonna go and get the vaccine, I expect it to be pretty organized, because that's the way it seemed to be. So I shall see you all in a bit. I really hope you enjoyed this week's vlog. I hope you enjoyed the testimony from Mr. Duff on the Mac 1, the first Mac 1 that got delivered. I told you guys that it wouldn't last long, and sure as the day is long, it didn't last long at all. So that was good news for us. Please check out that hat giveaway. I'd really like to give a hat away and get to those 100 subscribers as soon as possible. So get on there and subscribe and comment. Would really appreciate that. I hope you enjoyed John Stahl's Spotlight. It was a neat one this week, you know, a guy that's got a dry sense of humor, but definitely has a lot to give from a interview standpoint. So I really enjoyed that myself. Luke's training was kind of fun at the weekend with the kind of a game show kind of training, which I thought was really fun. Again, I hope you guys that do Saturday morning meetings really learn that's a good one for you, because I really think it is good to have the salespeople do it. Got a little bit on their trade appraisal meeting there, not too much, but again, I hope you learned a little bit from that. It was informative, and we kind of got off track a little bit, but it was good for the sales managers to learn a little bit about my my ideas and thoughts on when it comes to trade appraisals. And lastly, again, I know my video was a little dark at the end there, but vaccination I got on Sunday, which was cool. So I feel a little bit more safe and more secure to come out and not necessarily take off my mask, but when I'm outside I'm not so worried about it. So that was kind of good. But again, please subscribe, please send comments, and also I'll have a link to my subscription on this side, and then also on this side I'll have a link to my next video. So I appreciate it. As always, we can replace the car, not the customer, at Lou Fuse Ford, and I'll see you next week.